Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday night in the Spotlight. Tonight, I have joining me John Pogachar to talk about choosing your reality to play from. John is the founder of Love On Every Billboard, which is a wonderful project that we'll tell you guys about. He's a father of two wonderful young women, a coach, and the author of an upcoming children's book. John loves to practice meditation and awareness, is a friend to nature and everything that embodies spirit, and is on a quest to help people move more into their lives and dreams. So welcome, John, and thank you so much for joining us here tonight. How
Thank
are
you,
you
Kat.
doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
You're
There
welcome.
might be a little bit of background noise. I've got my niece here with me, and so just a little bit of background noise going on.
No worries. We've got a house with 5 kids in it, so there's always a little bit of something happening in the background.
Perfect.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the Love on Every Billboard? What started that vision for you?
That started, let's see, 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago now, and it came out of a, a group coaching call that I was on, and we were always talking about love in the group coaching call and how if we had more self-love, we would be, it would help us, and if we could just love a little bit bigger, that would help. And so I happened to be, after a podcast with our mentor Kyle Cease, I happened to be down in California, and I went to Kings Canyon National Park and actually camped for 2 weeks. And out of that came an idea, how about if I put love on a billboard and see what would happen? But I had a lot of fear surrounded about that. And like, who are you to do something like this? Who are you to get involved in an idea like this? And it's really too big for you because whatever limiting thing that was coming in my head. And probably at that time it was like, you sold shoes for Nordstrom, and so where does this fit? But by and by, and the more I talked about it, little bits at a time with different people, I got a lot of affirmation about it, and they're going, "Yeah, this is a really cool idea." But it wasn't still until I was in Vancouver, BC, with some friends that I saw the word "love" on a rock. That said, "Okay, I'll do it." Because I had gotten messages, love in display windows, love on shirts, walking at me. It's like, okay, I get it. Love on a rock. How can you set that even more? So I just went out and bought a billboard, put love on it. And then I ended up telling Kyle and the group of 50 people that we were on this coaching call with what I did. And they go, wow, we want to give you some money. And before you know it, the idea of Love on Every Billboard was birthed. So.
I absolutely love the story of it. And it grew to be something like so huge. So after your first billboard, what kind of happened to make it explode like the way it did?
Actually it was, I kind of had wanted to push it, and let's make this happen. We're going to get everybody to, tell everybody else about it. And after some conversations with Kyle, I said, well, let's just see what it would do if it would just kind of put it out there and just let the universe deal with it. So I said, okay, we can do it. We can do it that way. But before you know it, like I said, people, somebody from his group, from his team, built the website, Love on Every Billboard. Amelia Ruckus did that. And then people started handing me money, through a PayPal account. And then somebody had mentioned, there had been a shooting in Pittsburgh at the synagogue. So I rushed to put a billboard out there. And then somebody else a tornado just had gone through their town. They said they'd wanted some help with a billboard. So we put one there. And then they put an additional one there. So we had 2 of them there. And then I got a phone call from a lady in Russia that said, hey, we want to do this on Valentine's Day, and I go, I grew up in the Cold War, and it was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I knew after I got into 11 billboards, I knew it was going to go to Canada, but I didn't know when. So I knew it had potential to do that. But Russia ended up being our first country And they put up 22 billboards, digital billboards on Valentine's Day, and then flew a drone over it, which was so, so cool. And the people were so, so nice. It was just like, all right, now the sky's the limit. And then when we went to Los Angeles, at the billboard company there said, we'll give you 7 months of free billboard space, which blew me away. So then we start getting, you start getting emails like, I pulled my car outside and I cried my eyes out. Something was telling me I need to love myself more. I need to love my family more. And it just kind of exploded because we've been to New Zealand and to Ukraine and Austria and Canada a couple different times and 12 states in the United States. And yeah, it's just fun. Whenever I get a phone call that says, hey, can we do this here? And I said, yeah, we can do that here. And I'll show you how. So.
That's awesome. And did you ever think it would actually grow to be this big? Like, was that ever a thought that came in, or because it kind of grew like wildfire from the first time I heard about it. And then next thing I know, it's on the Jason Mraz Love Is Still the Answer music video, like the universe always seems to have such a greater plan than what we can even come up with.
Yeah, that is so true, Catherine, because I had thought a social experiment, we'll just see what happens in Spokane, Washington. Maybe we'll get it on the news, maybe, so a few people say something about it. I had no idea what was going to, and no expectation about where it was going to, but like you said, the universe grabbed it and did so much stuff with it. It's just been amazing. And we had the spot on the Today Show too, along with the Jason Mraz video, and who else knows who is going to look at this and go, wow, that's really cool. Let's do something else with it. So. Absolutely.
Now, how does a person go about getting love put onto a billboard?
Well, what I generally ask somebody is, what is their outdoor media company? And once they're able to tell me who that is, then I can contact that outdoor media company and we go from there. Sometimes people have the cash themselves and then they just write a check, and I get that deposited because we are a 501c3, so we're a nonprofit. Sometimes they have to go through the idea of fundraising, so GoFundMe goes up on their page, and so sometimes that happens. So sometimes it takes that long, and other times it has taken a year. I had a friend in Canada that it took her a whole year to raise the money. It was perfect because the day it went on was the last day the people in that business were working because of COVID. So, and then the sign stayed up for like 4 months without having to be any extra pay. She paid for 1 month and then ended up staying for 4 months.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
what is
goes to show you the universe has got this whole thing.
Right? It's like, just let go of your hands. You don't need to figure anything out. The universe will just come in and take care of it.
Yeah.
And what is the website for the Love on Every Billboards?
It's called loveoneverybillboard.com.
Okay. I'm just going to put that in the comment section here for people. Now, Love on Every Billboards, it's only one aspect of who you are. And I think that's what I love so much is when I met you and we met at the Asilomar, I think my first thought was, oh my God, it's John Pogachar from Love on Every Billboard. But then as the week kind of progressed, it's like, this man is so much more than just Love on Every Billboard. Like there's so much heart and so much soul that comes from you. So can you tell the viewers a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you're doing with your time now?
Well, I decided, you can have this idea and put that idea out, but then what else is there? Then it becomes like, oh, well, what else is there that I could do? What else can I come up with or create? And so the idea of creating something, and since I've been in the idea of awareness for the last 4 years, I thought, well, why couldn't I share that with other people? So the idea of coaching other people into awareness or coaching people through difficult situations or just, why do I feel this way, or who's talking to me? And so I came up with a company called Coast to Coast Company, and that's where I travel throughout the United States and I do coaching along the way. And so if people want to to write me. You know, I always like to have like a 2-hour consultation so that we can find out if we're a good fit for coaching, because that's not always, you know, maybe they need a different kind of coach, or maybe they need this kind of person to work with. So I always like to, you know, hand out that a 2-hour consultation, you know, with no charge for that. Another thing I did is that my daughter and son-in-law, well, now they have a baby who's 7 months old, but at the time, the baby hadn't been born yet. And they said that they had gotten a gift from a friend whose grandfather had written a book about her mother. And I go, well, that is really cool. That's a really neat idea, but I bet I could write a book too. And so I went to bed with that idea, but with a pad of paper next to my bed. And I woke up about 1 o'clock with this idea. And so I forced myself out of bed, because it's like, if I wait, then that idea could be gone. So I jumped out of bed, wrote a bunch of stuff about it, and then put the pen down, because it just felt like that's all you need to write, and went to bed. And then got up in the morning, ran to Starbucks, and for that morning and part of the afternoon, I wrote out this book, and this children's book. And so, which I'm really loving. We had it edited down, you know, so because there was a little boy in it, and he was kind of a spoiled brat, which is funny. And so, well, maybe we make this a little bit, you know, yeah, maybe we change it a little bit. We can apply or appeal to a bigger crowd. So I thought, well, why not? So we did that. We edited it down, and now we have it in front of an illustrator in New York that is making up some watercolorings. And that lady's name is Amanda Hawthorne, and you might know her also.
Is she the wedding painter?
Yes, she is the wedding painter.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, so so Amanda's got it in her hands, and she's coming up with some beautiful illustrations so far. I'm just really excited about it. And at first I was thinking, I need to wait to get illustrations to put in front of a publisher. But then the last couple days, it's been feeling like, why wait? Why not just contact a publisher? Why not? So I've been doing some research about, where can I get this published? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to become to be an author of a book? So
that's amazing. That's amazing, because it's really about following the soul callings. Whatever's coming up for you, you're just kind of following the direction of that. So have you always trusted that soul calling then?
No, and you know, no, I would say honestly, no, it's been more like, I'm just, you know, play small, hide myself from these ideas. It wasn't until this huge idea with Love On Every Billboard that came up that finally, you know, kind of launched me over that. But I found myself falling back and forth between playing bigger and playing small, and finding out when I'm playing small that I'm going to talk a little bit about my inner being, or, you know, this inner being, you know, this piece that you are God inside you. Doesn't it let you know, hey, are you going to play small? Are you going to play what you are capable of? Or are you going to play small? And then there's definitely some tears that go with that. There's definitely some like, gosh, what is holding me back from playing, from taking the abilities I have, from doing, you know, another big step like Love On Every Billboard.
Yeah.
So there's a definitely, you know, and I believe the more I play the higher plane, that higher reality, the more it'll be fun to play up there, the more I'll get used to playing there. Because I'm 62 years old, it's like I've been playing this one reality for so long. But the more at ease I'll feel playing in that higher plane.
Absolutely. And yeah. Is what you're talking about when you say about choosing your reality and what reality you want to play from? Yeah.
You know, I was listening to, I was on a call with Kyle along with his group, and he had talked about, you know, he had heard this from a gentleman named Bashar, who channels this person named Bashar. But he was talking about in his reality that there are lots of different people in your life that you are of, and you can wake up any morning and jump into any person that you want to. You know, you can jump into, I'm going to be a small person. You can jump in, I'm going to be in a pissy mood. You can jump in, I'm going to be joyful. I'm excited. I'm in love with the world, you know. So you play from whatever spot you want to. And at any minute or any time, you can leave that and jump and go to somewhere else, which really fascinated me. Yeah, really fascinated me about where we could go in our lives, you know, from moment to moment, if we choose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so for yourself, what works for you to make the choice to go bigger or to make the choice to be in joy? Because I know right now in the world, there's a lot of kind of heavier emotions, there's heavier things that are happening. So how do you choose to see it differently or to experience it differently?
Well, one thing is I do my best not to listen to television or the newspaper. You know, I
Yeah.
cut those things out of my life, because if you want to get sucked into the crap that's out there, then you will listen to that. You know, the news, God bless them, they want to tell you anything bad, and they will go to the ends of the earth to find something, you know, especially if it's, you know, nothing happened today. Well, you know, they don't want to tell you about the millions of people that are out there that are wonderful things that are happening. But they will, you know, come down to that one. So I do my best not to listen to the news and and uh, and the TV. And the other part is just that conscious decision, you know, waking up and going, okay, which way do you want your life to go today? Do you want to be smiling? You know, do you have a kink in your neck, and is that going to pull you down? Or are you going to, you know, stretch it out and get your mindset going forwards? You have a choice every moment.
Yeah.
And
It's so
sometimes you
beautiful.
get caught up in that, you know, and probably, you know, there's a lot of time where I like, oh, I'll read instead of actually doing some action towards something, you know. It's like, well, if I read one more book, you know, but even that can pull you back into inaction instead of doing something forward, you know, like sitting down and writing another book. Who knows? Why not write another one while this one's being developed? So.
Absolutely. So does that mean, are you planning on writing another one now that this one's been developed?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Awesome.
I mean, why not? Why not? Why not be able to create several things, you know? I've watched different people throughout history, you know, whether it be musicians or something, you know, and you see those musicians or the guitar players, and they had maybe a couple songs that were really great, you know, and then they just disappear, and you wonder, well, what happened to them, you know? Did they stop creating? Did they go off and do different things? I don't know, but why not wake up and create something every day?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in another group that talks about that. Every day, create something, whether it be, you know, write a poem, draw a picture, paint something. We're trying to do that every day.
So with the creativity, what benefits do you find for yourself when you're creating something new every day?
Just some freedom, some letting go of judgment that it has to be done a certain way, letting go of the idea of, well, you know, that compare and despair thing. You know, I love playing my guitar, but for the longest time, I didn't sound like Keith Urban. And I still don't sound like Keith Urban, but one day it came to be, I bet he doesn't go home and say, I don't sound like John either. So, and so that whole idea of the compare and despair, letting go of that. And so, although I still don't, you know, sound like Keith Urban, I just do love to play my guitar, and I leave it out instead of putting it in its case, so it's ready and there for me when I go into the room where it is and just go, oh, I'm going to play it, you know, a few notes today. So
I love that, because following the creative abilities to me is the same as following the soul's calling. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this end goal that you're working towards. It's just rather, I'm just showing up and I'm creating something today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the idea of, you know, do we have to complete everything? Can we just start it and just being, okay, well, I tried this for a little bit and that was okay. And now something else is catching my idea. So I'm going to try that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting. As humans, we seem to be so finite with like everything that we do. It's like, so if I choose to say be a nurse, then that's what I must do for the rest of my life because I made this choice once a long time ago and that was my highest calling then. But we have the ability to change, and we have the ability to change these directions as well.
Yeah, I love that. And living in the moment and going, okay, well, I'm not feeling that right now. So maybe it is time for a change. Maybe it's a time for a change to move, and travel to different places and find out what that area brings to me. So,
Yeah. And that's one thing you do a lot is travel.
well, let's see, last year, 2019, I threw everything in my car, and I have an SUV, and threw everything in there, sold everything else, and just took what I could and took off, and found that to be such a rewarding experience. But that too took a little bit of time to get going. It was like, I'd go and then I'd stop and go and stop. And then finally I was at my sister's and taking a shower, and I go, what is going on? Just really what is going on? And finally just blurting out, I'm afraid to go further than I've ever been for. What is going on? And just realizing that and showing some light on that, and just going, okay, I understand, and we're going to be okay. So, and oftentimes, if you shed the light on, a circumstance, that's all it needs. It just wants to be seen and understood. And then it's able to, okay, good. Now that you see me, now you understand what is going on, let's go.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I always equate it to like a child who's just wanting your attention and they're like, mom, mom, mom. And if you keep saying not right now, not right now, they just get louder and louder and louder until you actually stop and look and go, what do you need? Mm-hmm. What are you trying to get my attention for? And with that, then they usually go off and play for hours at a time, and their needs have been filled. So
no, I have had that myself, exactly like that. When it was like I was walking across the kitchen area and actually feel a tug onto my leg and go, what's that all about? And it's that little kid, and then going, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. And then, starting to walk some more and again, feeling the tug, having to sit him up on top of the table and just have a conversation. So I totally get what you're saying. Yeah. Totally true. For people out there going, what are they talking about? Well, it's inner child work, and something that's very valuable to do, and something that is worth doing. Worth doing, being proactive about it, like meditating. Taking the time for yourself to just talk to your inner child and find out what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, with the traveling that you do, there always seems to be some sort of aspect of nature that you're exploring.
I still love it.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what draws it? Because I don't know if I actually, and I love to hike, but I don't know that I've actually ever met someone who hikes and is out in nature as much as what you are.
It's just it's so rewarding and so peaceful, and there's just you and the trees and the sky and the rock and the trail. And, maybe you meet somebody else on the trail, or maybe you meet their animals, like a dog or something. It's just like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen today? It's like a surprise, and especially if you've just picked a trail and just started walking down it, it's like, oh, a waterfall just showed up. Oh, look at these beautiful flowers, wildflowers that just show up. Oh, wow, I've never seen a tree that big show up just in front of me. It's like, oh, a golden retriever, my favorite animal, just shows up. It's like with its, with its trainer. It's like, are you serious? I had thought about buying a dog, and taking that with me along the way of my travels. And then I go, it's going to be in the car all the time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out and make sure it gets exercise, let alone go to the bathroom, And when I let go of the idea of having an animal come along with me, I met so many and so playful and so much fun along the trails that I hiked, Yeah.
The universe is really just giving you whatever it is that your soul's wanting in any given moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that so much, Catherine, that when I truly let go, so much showed up for me. And if I tried to make things happen, then things didn't. Yeah. Then it was like, oh gosh, issues. It was like, let go of everything, surrender to the idea. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the hardest things for us humans to learn is the whole act of just surrendering
Yeah.
instead of trying to make it happen.
Yeah. There's a great book out there called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer.
Mm-hmm.
I would you know, throw that out there for anybody that'd like to read a good book. That is an awesome book. Just letting the world, let's surrender to the world, what it has to offer.
Yeah, beautiful. So we have someone asking, have you always been that aware and connected to nature, or was that part of you discovering you?
I think it was definitely part of me discovering me. And it's been about 5 years now. I just kind of stumbled into this kind of awareness, this kind of transformational stuff, this kind of idea of listening. I think I always knew that I had a different voice talking to my head that held me back from doing what I wanted to do. But I stumbled into Kyle Cease and his mentorship and his AEP program, and it's been crazy ever since.
Yeah.
I've met people who said they're witches, and people that have said they're angels and stuff like that. So it's like, what have I got myself into? But it was about taking a leap and doing something different, and listening to a calling that. I thought, wow, there's love everywhere, and we just have to let it flow to us. Because I yelled out one day, "Where is all the love in the world?" And that's where Kyle showed up. On my Facebook page. And I go, I don't know who you are, but I did yell and you did show up. So I guess I'll click on you. So, but it has been great because I haven't been able to meet them, but I've read books by Wayne Dyer, from Abraham Hicks, from Michael Singer, from Neil Donald Walsh, Joe Dispenza, and all of these people that talk about awareness and talk about, the inner child and different things that are going on in your head. It's been a blessing.
Absolutely.
Not without a lot of tears, but it's been a blessing.
And I think that's one part when we open the door to having more awareness and to wanting to work with the inner child and heal, it's going to come with tears.
Yeah.
That's where all of the love is underneath all of those tears and all of those old limiting stories and beliefs.
Yeah.
And what I love about all of those authors that you just mentioned, and including Kyle Cease, is a lot of their messages are very similar. And it's such simple truths that have gone over all of our heads.
Yep. Yeah. And you find out, when I yelled out, "Where's all the love in the world?" It's like, you finally come back to the love starts with inside you. Yeah. And that's where you need to look first. So.
Yeah. That's a very powerful statement. Because I think it's a lot of times we almost look at everyone else as you need to be one to bring more love, and you need to bring more love, and you need to bring more love. But we're not actually looking at ourselves to go, where can I start to bring more love? Yeah.
Yeah. And where can I, something really powerful yesterday was, how can I talk to God every day? And it is just about just opening that door and saying, I need to talk to you, or about something that's going on in my life, and finding out so much love can come from that conversation to me and for me, and then being able just to receive that in, instead of saying, no, I can't, just receive in everything that's trying to come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know for myself, receiving has always been one of the harder aspects of life, even breathing in, not taking in as much breath, but giving out as much breath. And it was so metaphorical for my entire life, was this whole act of giving and giving and giving so much more than receiving.
Yeah. Well, we're taught, I think, from childhood to give all the time and never to get, and share with your brother, share with your sister, and give this over here. And in the whole receiving idea is hard for us. So when you've done it for so many years, it's like, now flip it around and try and do it. So that's what's wonderful about breathwork sessions or meditation. It's like receiving all the things that are trying to come to you, even simply, like you said, your breath, take it in. It's oxygen that's supposed to heal you and, make you thrive. So do it. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's next on your vision when you're looking ahead at, I know you're starting to create another children's book and doing the coaching and stuff. So what else when we talk about choosing your reality to play in, what is the next step of the reality that you're choosing?
I think it's simply about playing at a higher level, and it's simply about, okay, you played here for a while, so what's next? And it's becoming, actually getting that children's book written, but let's get it published, and who do I have to become to have a published book? And it's like, who do I need to go talk to? Who do I need to call? Who do I need to email? Maybe email's not the best place, so maybe it is totally who I need to call. And do I need to get a writing coach that can help me with that? Do I need to call Kyle up and say, okay, you put together a book, how did you do it? And what can you suggest for me? And maybe just getting people of his stature, Eckhart Tolle, Kyle Cease, Dr. Shavali, hey, I'm going to send you this. Let me know, please let me know what you think about it. And, is this something that you see some potential in? So.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love too that, and I guess I haven't read the book, so I don't even know, but as you're standing here talking about the work that you've done and stuff, you've been healing your inner child. But now, would it be fair to say that your book has been written to your inner child, even though it's been written to your grandchild?
Yeah, because it is exactly about 10 things that a little child would want their parents to know within the first 5 days of life. So like, mom and dad, do you meditate? I've been doing it for the last 9 months. It's so cool. I don't have to do anything. You just sit there, you don't do anything. And
I love that.
I think another thing that the little child wants the parents to know is that I don't need a lot of things, If, when I'm hungry, I'll let you know. When I have to poop, please change my diaper, otherwise I'm going to get a big rash. And so it's like, life is simple. We don't need to worry and do that much, So it's just 10 things that I think every parent should know. Another one I'll share with you is just love me. Just love me for who I am. Don't think that, I'm gonna grow up and be just like you. I've got my own gifts that were sent down with me and my own attributes. So just love me for who I am. Please,
love that.
And it was, please show me, what you guys like to do, because maybe I'll pick up some of those things, but also let me do and try so many things that I am interested in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. You'll have to let me know once it's published, because I think that would be a great book to buy for new parents to do as a part of a baby gift or whatever, but then also to read to my youngest and other young children that I know in my life and stuff as well, because it might help give them a voice of what it is their desire is.
Yeah. And I hope it's for young parents to really take in too. Yeah. Because somebody else said, well, sounds like more for the parents. And I go, I think so. I think it'll be displayed in 2 different places, in a bookstore or on Amazon. Hey, this is for the parents, but it's also what are the kids looking for in their life? So
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because I know for myself, especially the one you were touching on about letting the child become whoever the child is. And when I was a young mom, you kind of have all of these ideas and visions of what you think that might look like as they grow up. And you read the parenting books on what to expect that first year. But then after that, you're kind of like, I have no idea. And then suddenly your kid's coming out with these thoughts and ideas and stuff that are totally their own and maybe not necessarily in alignment with what you believe or what you think. And you're going, well, where did you get that from?
Yeah.
So, and it really is about accepting them in all of their strengths and all of their glory and in all of their weakness as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think another part of that is just being okay that maybe they don't want to be a ballerina that we thought we wanted to be at that one time, maybe we can let them decide what they want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we have kids in a lot of different sports, and you see that quite often where parents will almost use the child's new sports experience as a way for them to fulfill whatever didn't happen for themselves. And it can be a bit disheartening to watch for the child. So
yeah, I'm right there, being so like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. It's like, how about you forgot that this is their experience, let them do it. Be there to cheer them on with whatever they want to do. So,
yeah, absolutely. I love that. Now, one question I always ask all of my guests is, if you could tell the world one piece of advice or one piece of wisdom, what would you want the world to hear from you right now?
Something I've been wanting to put on a shirt, and that is, be you and let everybody else be themselves too.
Mm.
You just be you and let everybody else be who they want to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
The world would be so much easier.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, just be you. And let everybody else do what they want to do too. Can we be okay with what everybody wants to do? Yeah. Be so simple.
Absolutely. And I find all of the right answers are so simple. It's not some long, complicated equation that we need to figure out. It's just be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let them be them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at how many misconceptions, how many wars we could get rid of if we would have just allowed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's it's just simple, guys.
I know. I'm preaching to the choir because I know, Catherine, you feel the same way. So.
Yeah. And I can honestly say I've been in a place of frustration probably this past week of just kind of seeing what's happening out in the world and hearing different things. And I don't watch the news, but I have other people tell me what's happening in the news. And I'm just like, are you kidding me, guys? Like arguing to the universe or whatever, like, what the hell is going on? Why can't people just love each other? And why can't we? And why can't we? And why can't we? But I think what really hit home for me tonight was when you said, if you can't see it out there, find it in yourself. So
yeah,
it's really about taking that step back from the rest of the world right now and finding it here with everything that is going on and understanding that out there, that's perfect too.
Yeah, and everything is okay with whatever. It's like that has taken me a while to remember. But the idea that it's okay and everybody's not on the same journey that I am, and for me to go and try to yank somebody off their journey so they can hear what I have to say, they're never going to hear it because they're just not there. They're on their own thing, and that's okay too. And if I have to love them from afar, because sometimes that happens when you have to. Okay, well, I'm going to split off from you, but I love you from afar, and have a wonderful life. So
yeah. And actually, we just had someone ask about how do you just be you while allowing them to be them, and her response to that was, how do you do that while still having boundaries?
Well, I think you do what you want to do, so that part is easy, and then just allow people to be who they want to be, and and just set your boundaries. You don't have to allow those people into your life if you don't want to, you don't want to. Or you can bring them into your life if you want to. And be okay with setting a boundary, being okay with saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go out drinking with you guys tonight. Not something I want to do anymore. And there could be some pushback from that. It's like, whether it be whatever, come on, Miss Goody Two Shoes, or, it's like, no, that's not something I do in my life anymore. And I'm just making a choice for myself, and it's always about for myself, not to do that. So, and being okay with that inside yourself.
Yeah.
And go, you know what? They may judge you, but who knows? Sometimes it's your ego making up that idea that now I'm being judged. Well, they may not even thought about that, or may not even said that. So part of that is also being okay with everything that's inside you too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And the one thing that
this is why this is called work.
Yes.
You have to do the work. You have to do the work and not just read the book and say, okay, well, I understand it, that way, but now you got to go do the work.
Yeah. And that's a huge piece of it, because for so long for myself, I would understand it up here. I could read the words, I could comprehend them, but bringing it down into my heart and allowing myself to really feel, what does that even look like? And how do I want to integrate this into my life? That was a piece that I was missing for a very long time.
Yeah. I know, we talked about meditating, meditating. It's like, well, when are you going to actually go do it? When are you actually going to go meditate? Yeah. Well, I did it for 10 days in a row, and then I stopped. Whoa. Okay. Well, that's like going into the gym for 10 days and then going, why isn't my body all buffed up? Because you didn't continue with it. So you have to this has got to be in your life. This is a new way of life for you. So.
Yeah.
And
so can I ask, how often do you meditate then?
Well, right now I have fallen off of that, but then I'll make up an excuse like, okay, well, I do run, so that is for me is a meditation, and I do go for a walk, and I do write, and some of these other things. So, but I try to meditate early in the morning, like when I'm waking up and stuff. It's like that's the best time for me to go. If I wake up earlier, to meditate sometimes right there, so to clear my mind out, to wake up with this idea of what are you going to do today? What is the choice that you're going to make today? You're going to wake up, oh, my body hurts, or you're going to wake up with a smile on your face and just say, okay, well, the aches in your body are going to pass. So continue to focus, Abraham Hicks uses this, calibrate to a new level, calibrate to a new high, grab the next best feeling thought that's out there for you. Yeah. So I don't meditate as often as I like to. And I have to be truthful about that, but that is the best practice. If you can clear your mind out, my ego automatically says, but you are reading, The Power of Now, which is a book by Eckhart Tolle. It's, who truly believes in meditating, every day. So it's like, well, you are, it's so, but the whole idea of, this is so funny, judging yourself, I'm judging myself as I'm talking about, but you're not the best meditator. It's like, can that be okay? Can everything that's happening in your life be okay? And all of a sudden, shining the light on just that statement allows me to go, okay, take a breath, jump back on the horse, do some tonight before you go to bed, or, wake up in the morning, and start over again.
Yeah.
I think that's, we stop for a while and then we never start back up because, we fell off and it's never going to be any good again, but start back again. Yeah. Be kind to yourself. That's another thing that I've learned in this 5-year journey is be kind to yourself. Because not often will the world be kind to you, because it's tough. There's sometimes that things are really tough, but be kind to yourself and let yourself off the hook for things that might be coming up, things you might have said to somebody, or things you might have said to yourself. Be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Be you, let them be them, and
Yeah.
be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, John, for joining us here tonight.
Are we done?
We
Are we
are
done?
done. Yes.
I got this big smile on my face. This has been so much fun, Catherine, doing this. And I thank you
Thank
for
you.
letting me
Thank
come
you.
on here and just chat and talk my head off about stuff.
No, I love it. I love it because you're so open about just what your thoughts are and everything. So I really appreciate that. And your coaching company, it's called Coast to Coast Company, correct?
Yeah, coasttocoastcompany.com.
Okay, and I will get that put into the comment section here as well in case anyone is wanting to connect with you. Coast to Coast Company.com.
And you can find me on Facebook. There's only one John Pogachar out there, and find me on Messenger and just connect. And
Awesome.
love to talk to people.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John, for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a great night, everybody. Next Tuesday night, we will have Amanda Audrey on talking to us about creating a positive mindset through adversity. So it's going to be a really great talk, and I hope to see you again next Tuesday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.